Hey, Betty.
Hello, Kelly.
How is the reading going? That's my question. I mean, I know we have a lot of books to read. Our TBR did not diminish during the
No,
vacation as
no.
expected. We tried. We failed, but we tried.
We didn't try harder because, yeah,
Well,
because
but
we
it was
didn't need to.
fun, right? We
Yeah,
got to read Lena's books, which we didn't have in the beginning of our TBR, right?
yeah,
We got to read Lou Langley's book as
right.
well.
Yeah,
So those were not in our initial list, but they were very welcomed additions to it. And well, there's a couple more to go through.
yes,
Despite already being in January, we still continue to grow the TBR with books to come out in 2026 further. So, yay!
yeah. We can definitely see that this year is going to be very, very busy, and we are so happy about that.
Yeah, let's be honest, we like them. Chaos
We
ensues.
wouldn't want it the other way. So yeah,
No, not really. We love it.
yeah.
But yeah, we need to kind of keep track on where we're going with our readings, right? Some books are going to come out very soon.
Yes.
Tamar, wink, wink. Um, so we need to be prepared for that. Because Kill will be back.
Oh God, I will need to,
I can't
prepare
wait
myself, take some day off, just focus on Killian because
because
he
it's
deserves
Killian.
full attention.
Yes, I mean we
Yeah.
know, we know. We've talked about it
Yes.
in detail. Um, but he's coming back, so we need to brace ourselves,
Mm.
and we need to get in touch with some of our friends who will be releasing their second books.
Yes.
Hey, we don't know the month, babe. We just want to kind of prepare in advance. And
Yes.
Happy New Year. If we haven't spoken yet. Um, but yeah, I think we have a couple of interesting books down the road for us. But today we're going to be joined by not one, but two guests.
Oh, tell
So
me, like I didn't, like I don't know who they are.
I don't know. I haven't heard of it yet.
I'm also a guest. Tell me, tell me,
Oh, let me tell you all about it.
tell me all about it.
So you remember Pauper Field, the Pauper Field, the book
Hmm.
we read.
Hmm.
So we're going to be hosting Trevor Jackson.
Oh God. Oh, really? My God.
Yep. So we're going to be, talking a little bit about the book because I have some. We did say we wanted to have words with Trevor, so we're going to have words with Trevor. That's what this episode should be called. Words with Trevor.
Words with travel,
It
like
might be. It just might be. Um,
we have questions. Come.
Questions, several. Uh,
And who
we
is
do
the
need to
second
keep in
guest?
mind.
Sorry?
We do need to behave just,
Mm.
just a little
I
bit. I mean, I don't want to scare off Trevor,
Well, yeah, I can't promise you that, but, yeah, like,
but I'm sure we'll discuss glistening apps. I want to understand the word listening, why he is so fixated on the word listening, and we are as well, by the way. And if there's any other synonym we could use, you never know.
we never
But
know.
to join us in this discussion, we have also invited the creator of the glistening apps, usually. So Ahriman, although he doesn't really enjoy creating the glistening apps, we totally enjoy them.
Well,
So, you know,
you
putting
shouldn't
these two
have created
together.
them so well if you didn't enjoy that.
True. True. Did you see the Christmas Oliver he made?
Yes.
Like, like, okay, now it's not just glistening, they're glistening and bouncy apps. Oh,
Yeah, I was, kind of, my time stopped when I looking
yeah,
at the phones, like,
I
"Oh,
know that feeling very well. Mhm, mhm. Yep, yep. The only thing I could think about was Lady Puddles.
yes." Lots of them.
Mm.
Big ones.
Big Lady Puddles. He also, I don't know if you noticed, but Harryman also created something for Tamar. So you have like an intro to Killian. And I was like,
Yes. And yeah,
So yeah, we'll bring both these gents into our podcast today. And I'm super curious where the conversation takes us, besides glistening apps, because we will take it there.
of course. Like, yeah, like
When don't we?
it's kind of mandatory with these two. So
Mhm.
yeah, we have to.
Yeah, we have to.
It's public service.
It is public service. It really, really is. So,
We have a community to
we have a responsibility towards the bookish community to
yes,
discuss glistening apps.
and yeah, it's just for them. We for us, we would be okay.
Of
Like,
course.
oh, we don't need to talk about it. But yeah. So what you are saying is this is going to be a hell of a podcast. Lots of
Yes.
fun, lots of laughters, and yeah.
Yes.
And again, for you watching us, this book is non-fantasy. So we normally go to the romantasy books. So this one it's not. And we are
It's
very
a closed door. It's a closed door, people, okay?
yeah,
So no.
no spicy scene. So if you like your books without the spice, which it's okay.
I love the book,
We
honestly.
also read those, so
Yeah.
this will be one good book for you to read. You I think you will enjoy it. So yeah,
And with that, let's go.
let's go.
Collected now. All right, Trevor, welcome to the folds. Mr. Harriman, welcome as well. So today we thought, why not join both of you? We might have some interesting things to discuss, but let's get something out of the way now. Glistening abs. I'm sorry, but this would always become a question with both of you present. Ahriman is the man that delivers them. Trevor, you named them glistening. First question, why glistening? Why don't we have other adjectives for the abs? And Harriman, can we get some more?
Ooh, well, I believe I have inserted the additional reference of chiseled, glistening abs. The chiseled.
Chiseled. Chiseled. Okay, okay. So we're
Better.
making it even more interesting. Okay, okay. I like that. Harriman,
Ariman
are
is
you okay?
looking at us saying, "Okay, like you're
Oh,
just."
you're like, no, no.
Well,
I think my AI are already so far into abs that I can't not make them, even if I tried. So, yeah. I'll try writing something like, please provide a fat 35-year-old and see if it comes out with glistening abs or not. I don't know.
That would be an interesting test to your AI. However, please do keep any subjects for us to be able to give an informed opinion on.
As always.
they can
We
ripple.
never.
Those abs, they can ripple, they can be chiseled, they can glisten, but the thing is that usually you need AI in order to make the perfect chiseled, glistening abs. Otherwise, you get a lot of back pain trying to make them naturally occur.
That we can all agree on. Like, I don't, at least speaking from myself, no
No,
abs around here. No, no glistening abs, but love to watch them. All right. So, Trevor,
not blessed with
no, we're
those.
not that blessed. Trevor, thank you so much for joining. We wanted to discuss a little bit about your book, Pauper Field, but we also would like to understand the mix that is being a lawyer with a writer.
Oh, yeah.
So, because I'm guessing that's a bit of an interesting mix, right? I mean, if you think about the law, it's always going to be facts, evidence, and well, books, not really. It's whatever you want them to be. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, honestly, I was an aspiring writer before I became a lawyer. My degree is in literature with an emphasis in German, so of course I had to go on to law school to make that degree applicable somehow. I really was into creative writing since I was, since I was like in the 8th grade or so, and But my parents told me, that's great that you're really interested in writing and it's a passion, but what are you really going to do with your life? So, of course, I went on to become a lawyer, and I always kind of knew I'd end up being one. My parents would always say that, I should be a lawyer, because I was so much into justice. But in retrospect, I think it was their nice way of saying I argue too much. Um, that being said, getting to the getting to the answer, I don't know if I necessarily agree that it's completely an open, clean slate. Like when you're writing a book, you do have to implement certain rules. I mean, you can be creative and bend them, around, but if you don't really have like a unified set of rules, or kind of like some sort of character arcs and what the motivations are, what the motives are, you're not really going to be creating a realistic book. The story just might get too, you over suspend the disbelief, as it were. So I think it's really hand in glove in many ways. And I wouldn't have been able to written the book without becoming a lawyer. Just as if you've read it, you know that there are a lot of rules and a lot of very 19th century this fetish
Mm.
that they have with these, and heretofore, thereafter, the party of the first part went on to the second part and stated res ipsa locutor. So, um,
It was reminiscent of reading some law book. Fair enough on that part, but I did like it though. So,
yeah,
you know,
it was a lot more intensive before. My editor really had me at trim back the legalese and the overwrought descriptions and the essential fact patterns. I had to really condensed quite a bit. Otherwise, it kind of would have read like a legal brief. And, that makes money for me now, but I don't think it makes much for entertainment.
agree to disagree if we think about like Judge Judy, but okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You were, I mean, literature, and why German? Why the
Yeah.
German part? No, I'm super curious. Sorry.
Oh, no. Well, I tried taking Spanish when I was a freshman in high school, and this gringo tongue could not roll its R to save its life. I had
The
difficulty.
German was?
So, but the German was super easy. I was able to, you know, Jawohl, mein lieber Kommandant für. Ja, ich kann das machen. Ja, I could easily just make the words flow off the tongue. But ask me to say perro, and I cannot roll the tongue. I just can't. So I started studying that instead. It came more naturally to me. I did 3 years of that in high school. I went over to Munich when I was like 17, but it looked like I was 18 because you guys reversed the dates. So I had a lot of fun drinking lots of beer over in Munich. Um, and then went on
Mm.
to college. I had this sort of, idea I might do this pre-med sort of thing. And I couldn't get past chemistry 1B, the second chem class, to save my life. So I thought, well, I'll just do literature, and I speak a foreign language. I'll just make that the emphasis. And I destined myself to have to go to a postgraduate degree after making that fateful decision.
Right. Munich, huh? Did you enjoy it? Was it fun? Did you like it?
I did.
It's a nice town, right?
It, it was very fun. I mean, it's been many, many, many years, so I don't know what it's like now, but it was a lot of fun. I was taking the German course over there. I was with a bunch of people around my age, a little older, in a dorm, and it was a lot of fun. But the joke about Munich is that right around 11 p.m., all of the sidewalks just clap up onto the sides of the buildings because everything closes at 11. So not much nightlife.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, we feel you on that one. No, they don't really work that late, unfortunately. But hey, where we are, we go late. But that's fine.
Yes.
That's fine. Maybe one day you'll come and visit. And we'll show you that 11 p.m. It ain't even started, baby.
That's just when you
So
wake up from the siesta, right? No. Oh wait, that's
totally,
your
like,
neighbor.
Yeah, I was
our hermanos, but no, not
exactly.
anymore.
We don't do that. We prefer to end earlier than do a siesta. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. Okay. So tell us a little bit about your book. Like, if you had to describe it in very broad strokes, because again, we tried to give minimum spoilers, right? Unless we're talking about apps, that's where we kind of go into details. For the rest, we try to not give a lot of spoilers so people have the privilege to read without understanding fully what they're getting into. So give us a little bit of a cliff note on what to expect when we're reading the Pauper Field.
Ah, you know, whenever people ask me to write what my to say what my book is about, I always just immediately I try to call back to what's the elevator pitch, what's this, what's that. But basically it's about this 30 something down and out lawyer who's got a bit of a drinking problem. And he's kind of escaping his life, his divorce, career ruin, and he moves up to this small little place in Southern Oregon. And one drunken night, he comes across a gruesome discovery, and these voices lead him there. And then he finds himself involved in this mystery that's been plaguing the idyllic community since its founding. And then he gains some self growth out of the way, or hopefully he does.
Okay.
I mean,
fair enough. Terribly.
Frankly,
Um,
if you read it, I would kind of prefer maybe what you think a good summary would be.
a good summary. Well, I did give you a review, but for me, it's a lot about the psychological aspect of your character's growth, right? Everything that he needs to kind of confront and go through, because despite all of he is a very factual mind, but he does need to kind of get out of his usual ways to try and see things with other lenses. And I'm trying very hard not to give any spoilers, but he does need to have that different perspective in order to be able to confront his own ghosts and reach something else, right, that he's missing in his life and that he needs to find for his own way. I'm trying to say this again without touching actually anything that's written in the book. But for me, it's a lot about his psychological growth and all of the hurdles he had in his life that he does need to confront with. Because all of that escapism, well, it's fun, but it's not going to help him in the long run. So he's kind of trying to figure out how the hell he gets out of it. But he does go a little bit off the rails there. So, and
Just a
then
little.
stuff happens, right? And he needs to confront them, which then makes for a fun hell mystery that I loved it, to be honest. All of those things that he sees or doesn't see because we don't know. As you mentioned, he does have a little bit of a substance abuse, just a little bit. So we don't know if he saw something, if he imagined it, did he dream it? We know nothing. So in actuality, I love the when
The
you can't
surprise.
trust a narrator because you don't really know how much he knows and what's happening around him. So that also made it super fun for me because I was like, okay, so did you see stuff or did you imagine it? So for me, that was pretty cool, to be honest.
Thank you.
I'm really trying hard, Trevor, not to go into the details and not spoil it for everyone. Oh, but yeah. But
Uh,
that for me was about the psychological part of it.
Well, thank you. I
Just
think you did a great job.
just like out of curiosity. So this was not your first book, but it was the first book you published,
Oh,
or
well,
was
this is my first published novel. Mostly I would do like short stories and, just
okay?
creative writing and stuff like that. As I was gaining my footing into adulthood. So yeah, this is my first full-blown novel, my first published debut, all of that wonderful stuff. And I started writing it in 2019 and I finished it 2021, actually up in Jacksonville, Oregon, which is this quaint little town, which is, well, not, it's quaint for us Americans. It's got, 19th century architecture and it's this cute little town. And I finished it there. And then the next 4 years was editing because I am a pantser. I went by the seat of my pants the entire time. If I didn't know where a scene was going, I'm going to jump forward to this next scene. And then I went back to the previous scene, and the original version had it hopping back and forth like through various different times. And people really couldn't understand what was going on. So I had to put it all in chronological order and took a lot longer to edit and revise than it did to write it. So, but I guess that's how I write.
Okay. So are we already working on a next book? Asking for a friend that might be interested in reading it.
Ah. Well, uh, my work in progress is kind of a work in progress right now. It's sort of a more of a standard legal thriller. Not so many supernatural elements going on, but just life, and just marketing the current one and trying to come up with content for Instagram, trying to compete with glistening abs. That seems to be the most competitive media out there. It's difficult, but slowly but surely I'm trying to come up with a plot.
Keep in mind, Trevor, for the next one, add in glistening abs. You did
Confirmed.
not give him so
I can certainly make Braxton and Jason with glistening abs. That's easy enough.
Well, you did a valiant attempt with one of them. You just didn't do the full the full shot. Just have him get all the way up and show up
Uh,
listening at. I mean, he runs a lot and he does his exercises. He was training for the FBI after all, so like he probably has a pretty good bod.
why did we not see that from the female audience? Why did we not see that? Braxton has a lot of potential, but then we don't see anything. It's all closed door and we don't see anything.
I'm actually
So note to yourself.
I'm actually super shy. I'm super shy about writing, love scenes. It's really kind of funny. It's either like I just skip over it or it gets into like the real hyper detail, like, factual legal writing. Like I don't know the viewer audience, so I can't get into details of how explicit I could be, but it does come out very cringe and procedural. So I tend to pull back and just get into the romantic and, the spirit of it and give you some analogies of what it's like, two souls melding together rather than candy canes or doorknobs being inserted in places, stuff like that.
Well, candy canes, it's Lou's fault, Lou Langley, right? We did not, but
Yes.
you can always, we can get inspiration from other authors. I mean,
This is true.
if you read Dave Rowe's book, I'm sure you'll have a lot of inspiration.
I really, my horizons have broadened. There's a very, very vivid and extremely popular Instagram scene out there where they just love their romance. So my eyes have definitely been opened very much.
I'm waiting for that procedural one in terms of I'm guessing it's going to be like lawyer day in court. So I'm in. Whenever you're ready and you need someone to read your book, those ARC readers, those pesky people that read the books, laying it out there. Happy to help.
That's fair. I'll even try to put it in like, metric and imperial units. That way we can just be exactly specific and no guesswork involved.
There you go. Because it's very different. Okay. All right. So Betty, over to you.
Thank you. So, about the book. Hope plays like a quiet but a persistent role in the story. How do you think like hope functions in the darkest times? So what's your view on that?
Well, hope and love are the two biggest traits of humanity, right? That's what keeps us moving forward. Everything that in my book is complete fiction. I mean, they say write what you know, but it's all fiction, right? I haven't had a drink in almost 10 years now, come this June. So there was a little bit of some personal experience that was involved with writing that and the story. And learning how to just be in the present and just learning to not really trying to work someone over or try to get an edge and just trying to like do well for yourself and do good for other people, and not stressing over the future. That's just kind of what other definition of that except is there for hope? I mean, we're always going to have power hungry people, and they tend to end up being leaders, and they can make bad things happen. But I think by and large, humanity itself is fueled by hope and love, and that's what keeps us in existence now and creates great communities and allows us to write, do art, all of that. So that's sort of the underlying theme, I suppose, is that even when things are at their worst, you always do have hope. Some people have faith. Other people don't know who they are. They only see themselves as how they're defined, and you can't really go through life like that. So really hope and finding who you are at your core and becoming comfortable with yourself, I think, is a pretty major theme in the book. And that's sort of the transformation that happened in my life. So I figure maybe I'd try to share it a little bit.
Fair, fair. Okay, I have a question. Here. Just a little bit off. Which one makes you nervous the most? Is it a blank page for you to write on, or is it going to the courtroom?
Great question.
Ooh. Well, you ask a question like that, you're going to get a lawyer's answer, which is it depends. Right. I've been doing law for about almost 20 years now. So it really depends on the case. With the case, you kind of have your facts already in line. You already have an idea where the narrative goes. But I tell you what, best laid plans and all. I tend to notice when I'm practicing law and when I'm writing is that the best stuff happens when you pivot. Some new idea sparks or some new fact comes up, and you go on ahead and you take it by the reins and you write it all the way through. So in one way, the blank page, it can be a bit unnerving when you have writer's block and you don't know what you're going to write. But walking into the courthouse when you've got a really bad case and you got to do whatever you can to try to make your client not look as bad as they are. Not to say I take on those cases, but
Of course not.
but you kind of take on the role and you learn how to separate yourself. But when you're writing, it's really different. It's like you are kind of putting yourself into your work, and if you want to write a good novel. So that really can be a lot more nerve-wracking. And so can I just say they are equally as daunting and thrilling at the same time?
Of
course. And I do believe that's probably the gist of it, right? Or else none of them would be that interesting for you to do on a day-to-day.
That's
right?
true.
The thrill is there.
Just one of them pays a lot better than the other for the time being.
For the time being,
The writing, right?
Of course, the writing.
The writing.
Those
Okay.
royal, they make themselves.
Yeah, there's always hope. There's always hope, right?
There you go. Hope is always the leading factor.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Are you
Yeah,
being
we should.
approached by readers, Trevor? Are you being approached by like your readers and giving you feedback or not yet?
I mean, locally, yeah, just friends and colleagues, and as well as in the Instagram community, it's really overwhelming to to hear like what people thought. I haven't gotten a bad review yet, but you never know. It can happen. And it's just really what interests me the most is there are parts of the book that I think, oh man, this is going to, I'm going to get a lot of comments on this, or, people are really going to bring it up. And without giving away too much of a spoiler alert, Braxton has a certain code language that he speaks, because of his past history with, smoking the doobie. And he has this special language that he created, and it's just basically a bunch of puns based off of weed, and no one has brought it. No one has mentioned anything about it, and I thought that was one of the funniest parts of the book. So I guess I successfully wrapped some dark humor and some light humor into the work, and it's just really thrilling to see people saying, "Oh, I want to see this as a Netflix, mini series and limited series," and I'm all about that. Any of you want to get together and let's create that Netflix limited series? I am all about that because I think it'd make a really good one.
I would watch it for sure.
Right?
Yeah, me too.
I mean, what's to lose? You got FBI, you got disappearances, homicides, non-reliable narrator. I mean, come on, this is supposed to be like
It
Hollywood
sells.
gold.
Yeah.
It's because I missed out on the chiseled abs. I think that was the missing ingredient.
Yeah,
That
we will
would
need to
have
talk
told
about
the story.
the leading actor for the Netflix series. Yeah, we will. Kelly and I can be part of the casting crew.
Yes, we'll be on the cast. We'll be casting.
Yeah,
Well,
we'll be the casting crew. Yeah, we'll
what
be
do you think?
doing the cast.
Like Timothy Chalamet, you think? You think that'd be that he could work that?
No. We
No,
need more grit to it. Come on.
yeah,
We need
yeah.
more grit to it.
He's a good actor, but no.
No. Okay.
No.
I'll defer to you. You can be my casting directors.
Yes, okay.
We'll
Deal.
come back to you on that. We will review and analyze, and I'm sure we'll come up with decent options.
Looking
Just a
forward to
couple
it.
of them off my head.
You won't regret. You probably won't have budget for them, but that's another story.
Different details. They might want to go indie. You never know.
We never know. Exactly.
You never
True.
know. I was Miles Teller. Miles Teller might be interesting, but Braxton's a bit not as dark, so we'll need to think about it. Oh well,
I could see that.
thanks for us to
I could
Miles
do that.
Teller.
I
Come
could
on.
see that.
Yeah,
I thought the intent was the glistening abs for the Netflix adaptation.
Miles Teller has glistening abs. Do you remember Maverick?
Go just
Because I do.
go higher, like Manganiello, for example, or something. Who knows?
If it was the '90s, I'd say Fabio.
Oh God, no. No, but Manganiello is a bit too old to be 30-something by now. Ahriman, sorry to say. But, I would be happy to see him cast in anything. But not this role. No. You need to go Miles Teller on this.
All right.
Again,
Duly
think
noted.
about Matt. Yeah.
I think we have a winner. Our people will talk to your people, and we'll reach out to them.
Of course, there'll be
Deal.
draft legal contracts. Obviously, we will be happy to review them as well. All right. All right. So there is one central point in your narrative as well that we do kind of, we like it, which is a little bit of that chaos and uncertainty, right? Because there's a lot of things happening, but aren't they? Question mark, right? Some of them we know are, some of them we think are, some of them we got no clue. So how did you see that as a tool for your storytelling, right? So being able to build all of those arcs, because that's layered, right? It's what happens, what you think happens, what might be happening, and you have no idea. How is that a tool for you to also kind of bring that topic forward?
So when I originally sought out to write it, I thought I'd kind of keep the reader guessing. It's sort of like, did that happen? Did that not happen? And it was actually about a year before publication where I had this idea where, maybe he'll hear these voices, and then as like what those voices say becomes a pretty critical component of the entire story. It does have a lot of layers. And I hope it's not too confusing, but it was very. I definitely have more. My process is definitely more feral. I just kind of write one scene and the next and the next, and so it really took a lot of editing to layer it all together. But I think it ended up cohesive, and I think it ended up being a pretty cool narrative. And the problem is that I don't know what to give away and what not to give away because there are twists all the way to the end. So that's sort of my issue. It was that the post-production I was not thinking about when I wrote the thing.
Well, that's a lesson learned, right? Now for next one, you need to kind of keep an eye out already to kind of, so you don't have to kind of, go back 300 times. But it was very good, to be honest. I love the fact that I didn't know a lot of things right up until the end. That made it a whole lot more fun. But yeah,
Yeah, I tried.
you did. Don't
Yeah.
worry, you did, which is good.
Thank you.
All right. So maybe one last question. So how do you feel that readers connected from in terms of emotional side rather than the literal events of the book, right? So how do you think that kind of went on?
Well, there was some challenges because, as we know, the character can be a bit of um, he can be a bit annoying at times. I'll put it nicely. His boundaries are somewhat. He likes to toe the line and sometimes go over, and trying to pull him back and still make him kind of earnest and making the readers root for him. I did have to do some extra tweaking because this guy is really just trying to be well liked and have people, enjoy his presence and sometimes at his own expense, which was why he likes to, consume a lot of substances in order to not feel stymied and feel like he can just say what he wants. So pulling him back a little bit and grounding the reader into realizing that he's not really like this bad person. He's just got, some issues that he hasn't really has never really dealt with, and the way he measures himself by how society views him versus how he just views himself as, as his own individual being. I think that's what makes, I think all of us in part have had that experience just in growing and developing as a person. And some people never actually realize who they are at their core. And so people will do a lot of things to, distract themselves or just not want to, realize or recognize or acknowledge like whether we're bad, whether we're good, whether we're decent people or not. So trying to toe that line, I think, is really what I'm hoping the readers will get some gratitude out of or some sort of resolution out of that. You can be in the worst of situations, whether self-imposed or not, but with hope,
Yeah.
you can you really can gain an advantage and new perspective on things. So that was basically it, trying to make a guy who's kind of rude and obnoxious into a likable character that can be that can be
But you
difficult
did.
What
sometimes.
a challenge.
Like we did. And we do like his not so soft edges. It's also fun to kind of see him, kind of putting himself like in that light. It was also fun.
Well, you
All
you can't
right.
take yourself too seriously. So can't take yourself too seriously. That's the first thing I learned.
Yes, yes, agreed. 100% agreed. That's why
Yeah.
we do what we do. As you might see, we don't. We really don't. But
Why?
that's how we all felt
That's
about
why I
life.
gravitated toward you all. I really appreciate everything that you're doing. I really appreciate everything you're doing for the community. I really hope it continues growing and flourishing. And I just feel really just absolutely blessed by getting to know all of you. It's just been an absolute pleasure. And I look forward to continuing to banter and more abs, more abs.
More abs. That's where Harriman comes in. That's what we need, Harriman. That one's up to you. I mean, I did see Oliver's bouncy ones. I was like, okay, now we bounce.
I don't discuss unfinished work.
That's true. That's
Mm,
true. I'll leave the maestro with his doing his magic.
we'll
Okay.
all be eager for that.
Okay.
uh,
All right,
Receive.
Trevor. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us. I hope you have a wonderful day. Yours just started.
yes.
Enjoy your day. And we'll be talking again. We'll have more words in the future, hopefully.
Looking forward to it.
And for an arc on whatever next book you'll be writing, we'll be happy to take a look and help you on that. The constant struggle on Instagram. We're there as well. So join
Excellent.
forces.
And then I'm looking forward to that casting list. I'll send
Oh,
you
we
my
will.
professional email.
Please do, and we will start working on that, of course. All
Thank you
right.
so much,
Yeah,
you all.
very much. Have a great day.
Bye. Bye.
Bye bye. So Betty, I mean, I
Yes.
know, again, these are not connected. Again, these are still props. We haven't yet learned how to use them. We will in the future, I guess, maybe one day,
Or maybe not.
or maybe not. We'll just keep on using them as props. No,
Very
but on,
expensive props, but
you never know. I loved getting to know Trevor. Trevor was awesome. Was great to have him with us. We hope to have him again. Maybe
yes,
next
definitely.
book, maybe before. We don't know. We will see. We'll keep on discussing. But it was great to have words with Trevor and to discuss the Pauper Field. If you haven't read the book, go out and get it. I can tell you it's a very interesting book. You will get you won't know what's happening, so it's a bit of a mystery on that. Has a splash of supernatural there, just a splash, right, a little bit. Um, it does hook its claws on you, and you get very interested in what's actually happening. So cannot suggest it more and recommend it more. But it was great to talk to Trevor. It was great to have here Ahriman playing our resident abs
Creative.
creator. Yeah, let's put it as creator. I think that's a good option.
Yeah.
The app creator. It was nice to see him as well back. So yeah, it's a good episode.
It was a very good episode. I'm pretty sure that you all will enjoy it. Again, Trevor, we hope to see you again here very soon, or like at least, well, again this year for sure, as we are only starting now this year. And we won't forget about the casting situation
We'll
after
be
this.
working on that.
Yeah, after this recording, Kelly and I will start working because this is very important.
Agreed. Agreed. We need to
And
cast.
we might even contact the potential actors. Who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe they won't block us.
Maybe we will end up in Insta prison. We don't know.
We don't know, but again, life is full of these surprises. But again,
Yeah, we want to. And again, just as a quick reminder, again, Trevor, we are here for any arc that if you want someone to read a story and let you know, we're your girls. So it was fun to get to see Trevor. It was pretty cool to discuss the book. Betty, you and I have a TBR miles long.
I know.
Speaking of Miles, I
Hmm?
still recommend him for Braxton. Miles Teller. I said Miles. Stuff happens. So we need to get back to our TBR. Make sure we have some more interesting things to discuss. Because next week it's
Well,
up.
with these books, with this amazing community, we will always have
Oh,
great,
that's for sure.
great books to talk about and to review.
And guys, I know we started off with a bang this year, and we keep on rolling with amazing authors. I don't see that streak stopping right now, so you might want to stay tuned for who's coming next.
Yes, and with that said, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You will see our Instagram handle in the description below. Give us a follow as well. But regarding YouTube, it will be very important for us if you can help us grow. So subscribe. Click on the notification bell so you can be notified every time that we have some madness to share with you, because we are not selfish. And yeah, spread the word. And yeah, and we really hope that 2026 is an amazing year, will be an amazing year for all of you. And it will be even better if you follow us.
No pressure. Just click the follow button.
We know where you live. No, I'm joking.
Thank you, guys. See you next week.
Bye bye.